Family, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. And if you guys have, I really appreciate you guys and welcome back. But if you're a newcomer, join the family. It's easy. Hit the subscribe, show love, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. It's free. It just takes a little bit of your time. That's it. But today I'm super excited to check out this video. Actually, we're going to be checking out J-Hope's Growth, a BTS video essay. This one's obviously by Boracity magazine. So if you guys haven't, make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. That's where we get all of these videos from, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to support her, please do so. She needs 100K for real subscribers. She needs a plaque. She deserves it. She's a very good journalist that I personally go to. So if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go to her because she has a lot of dope stuff over there, you know? But I'm excited about this because J-Hope is somebody that I've been listening to as of late pretty heavily. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I like his vibe. I like his music. Um, and and I appreciate the fact that he's going into the apparel side. You know, he's in Human Made. He made Human Made with uh Pharrell Williams and then somebody else. I forgot his name, but I know they made ice cream and BBC before. You know, Billionaires Boys Club. If you guys remember that brand back in the days, so that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. The little squirrel kind of looks like the you know the little logos that they will use kind of back in the day a little bit. Kind of, if you guys know, you know, but that goes to show that we're gonna start seeing some very dope collabs because the way I see it is like we get Human Made, and now there's a potential collaboration with Nike for 2026. So just imagine there could be a shoe collaboration with J-Hope and Human Made. We have Travis Scott shoes, we have the Yeezy shoes, we have some very popular shoes in the game, and I feel like his shoes, when they drop, they're gonna sell, and the resale price is gonna be insane. I already know because Human Made is not a merch brand; it is an apparel. It is a very high end brand. So, you know, I think it's gonna be one of the biggest things we're gonna see in the shoe game, and that might actually switch the game a little bit because the shoe game, I'm not gonna lie, if you guys know, the shoe game right now is a little bit low when it comes to sales and stuff like that. It took a little bit of a drop, but I feel like this could potentially change the game and everything's gonna start spiking up again, all because of J-Hope, and they could put that under their belt once again as something that they've done once again to change the game for the better. Crazy, right? Another thing. All right. Before we continue, though, I gotta give a big shout out to Allison Fitchett. This is literally before you guys clap, this is the first member of the channel. Welcome to the eFamily. I didn't even know that we had a member, to be honest. I checked the analytics one time and then I seen it said member and I'm like, member? Like what? So then I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, 2 days ago? What? I showed my wife. We got so excited. We celebrated. But big shout outs to you. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys are welcome to join the membership club. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be doing a lot of amazing content in the future. Stay tuned for that. Everything is being planned out as of now. So if you guys are here for the long run and here for us as well as, you know, some good content, join the family. It's gonna be an amazing year. I already feel it, I already know it. And with you guys by my side, we can't lose. All right, let's get into the video.
I thought this was going to be a fun little video in anticipation of J-Hope's new album, but as I was writing it, I kept finding more and more interesting information and found myself appreciating J-Hope's music in a whole new, deeper level. So this is the result, an appreciation video of J-Hope's artistic career and growth over the years. J-Hope's music journey is one of the most beautiful ones I have seen in an artist. From his pre-debut collaboration Anima to his upcoming album Jack in the Box, the self-discovery and artistic growth are clear. J-Hope went from being a street dancer and trainee to a complete artist with a particular style and a musical personality. The first time the world saw a glimpse of J-Hope's music was in 2012, when he was a featured artist in the song Animal by the Korean singer Jo Kwon. The song, which is credited
Surprisingly, I've heard that song before. Surprisingly, I think I've gone down the J-Hope rabbit hole so much that when I press play on J-Hope on YouTube Music and it just literally goes down his music, I feel like I've heard that song before. And that's a fire song.
The song, which is credited to Jung Ho Sok and not J-Hope, is a dance pop electro house song with a fearless choreography characteristic of Jongwon, who is known for his dance in high heels and extravagant outfits. I think this song was perfect for J-Hope. The lyrics are about how unstoppable he is as a performer. J-Hope raps about how crazy he is on the dance floor.
Take control of me, who got hotter? I got burned by the mic. Don't worry, there's a crazy boy on this floor. Get on the floor, my stage is over here, over there, in front of the spotlight, the shine is mine. Hurry, hurry up, it's hot, it's hot. The atmosphere is hot. My line of vision gets stronger. Look at me in advance wherever I go. I'm an animal that swallows all of these flashy stages. Rah! Oof.
How the spotlight shines on him, and how he belongs to the
That.
flashy stages. And somehow, this was trainee J-Hope. He was so full of talent and ambition, but as he once mentioned, he didn't have the songwriting and producing experience of the other two rappers in BTS. He was just an animal on stage. He had an incredible amount of talent, he only needed to find his own voice. J-Hope raps for only 16 seconds in Animal, but the fact that this was pre-debut trainee J-Hope shows how incredibly talented he was from the beginning and how promising his career was going to be. After BTS's debut, J-Hope showed that he did not only have a crazy amount of talent in dancing, but he also had a unique voice and style in his rapping. And despite not having any kind of background in songwriting, he learned fast. His name was present in the songwriting credits of almost every BTS song, sharing the spotlight with RM and Suga. In 2015, RM released his first solo mixtape and Suga was preparing his own to be released soon after. However, J-Hope's mixtape took a little longer, but we started to see some of his solo work when he released One Verse on SoundCloud, which samples the song El Chapo by The Game and Skrillex. This song is full of wordplay and idioms, and as the title suggests,
Ooh. That beat is tough. Ooh, I never heard that. I gotta hear that.
the song has only one verse, so J-Hope starts rapping and never stops. One verse is full of strong language disguised in innocent, funny, almost nonsensical lyrics. For example, he says that people are a voyeur of his talent. This is because talent and are pronounced similarly in Korean. Another wordplay I like is when he mentions that he becomes everyone's watermelon. This is because licking the surface of a watermelon is an idiom used when someone doesn't understand the core essence of something, the flesh of the watermelon, and only judges from what it appears to be, the rind of the watermelon.
So kind of like judging a book by its cover in a different sense, potentially.
So J-Hope is basically saying that people don't make an effort to get to know him. So he is a watermelon when he is judged by people with shallow understanding. This other line is self-explanatory, but he mentions that he digests all the curses thrown at him and them out.
I love this, man. I keep saying this and I keep repeating this every time we see this kind of content from them. I keep seeing that we could be nice, we're gonna be nice, but I like the vulgarness. I like the realness. It's like they're not pretending to be like, oh, I'm hurt. Nah, I'm gonna express how I feel about how you made me feel type thing. You know what I'm saying? Oof. They're fire for that. I'm not gonna lie.
And my favorite part of this song is when J-Hope raps that everyone is Lem getting in his way. He says, here he
He spit on them too. Oh, oh.
mentions his age at the moment 22, but he says it as 2 in English and pronounces it as, which is an onomatopoeia for spitting out phlegm. So he's not only mentioning his age, he's spitting at his haters while doing so.
Wow. Think about some of the best lyricists that we had in the game before, right? So I would say back in '08, Lil Wayne was one of the illest to do it on the mic when it came to metaphors, when it came to lyricism. I'm talking about mixtape days. I'm not talking about the radio songs and all that. I'm talking about, if you guys know, he had an era where 2006, 7, and 8, he was doing mixtapes and he was going on people's beats and just rapping over them and straight killing it with metaphors and exactly the same way that J Hope is doing this, and saying this in a certain way that it kind of makes it seem like he's spitting on somebody, but he's saying the two. So I love this kind of stuff because I'm all for the metaphors, I'm all for the deep lyrics and for the breakdown of the lyrics. I want to be able to listen to a song, and not all the time, obviously, but it's cool to listen to a song from time to time and catch a lyric and they kind of have to break it down because he could be meaning this, but then it could really be meaning this. You know what I'm saying? So there's always some good stuff in the artistry when it comes to rappers, man. They have these unique ways of expressing themselves. And I feel like we've gone through and reacted to so many rappers on this channel that I've been able to witness and see a lot of these amazing, word plays that they use. And now to find out that we're gonna have some of these word plays from J Hope, I can't wait to get into him. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get deep. I'm gonna get deep because this low key is my lane. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Also says that even though this is a verse, it deserves to be called a hook because of how good it is. And he was right. Even if you never read the lyrics and the explanations for each wordplay, this is still a badass song, and it has J-Hope's characteristic variety of flows. And despite being only 2 minutes and 54 seconds and being released only on SoundCloud as a fun little side project, the song shows some of J-Hope's songwriting skills. One verse proves that J-Hope is not only a good performer, and I don't know if composing was an unknown talent of his or the result of practicing day and night, or a mix of both, but the fact that he could get to this level in only a couple of years is almost unbelievable. In my opinion, J-Hope's sound was perfected when all the guys from BTS started releasing their solo songs on BTS's albums. So it was in 2016 when we first got to clearly see J-Hope's interpretation of one of BTS's complicated concepts. This album theme was temptation and growth, and the one who opened the whole project was J-Hope. And just a reminder that this album follows a fictional storyline, so they are not necessarily talking about their lives. In Intro Boy Meets Evil, J-Hope raps about destroying his ambitions and future because temptation won him over and he sinned. He never explicitly says what exactly this temptation was, but he describes it as an immature love, a love like evil, and a irresistible greed and the touch of evil. This song written by
Ooh. I cannot wait till we get to these albums, for us to check out these albums. Holy moly. You know what's crazy? Like, this kind of stuff is so cool because we can go off of a different conversations when it comes to what he means by this. Oh my god.
Hope, RM, and P-Dog has a very dark vibe, representing the dark reality that he is living, a reality that is too bad but too sweet at the same time. This is only the introduction of how Boy meets the evil that BTS will talk about in the rest of the album Wings.
Ooh.
The guys
I would want to see how people break that down because we all know in the music industry there's some type of evil, or anywhere in the industry there's always some type of evil that lingers, right? So that makes you wonder, like, did someone try to tamper into them and try to make them be and do something that they didn't want to do? You know what I'm saying? Here we go with the thoughts that start coming in my head as I'm watching this and I'm listening to, what this specifically was about. I start thinking of that stuff. So that's why I'm saying, like, when we check out these projects, those conversations are gonna be insane.
The guys of BTS will sing about many different related topics in this album, such as a lie and a stigma, but they will eventually go through a reflection, and J-Hope will be the only member to have 2 solo songs in this album. After this reflection, J-Hope will talk about his personal, maybe not so bright story, about his relationship with his mother, in his solo song, Mama. The lyrics to this song are so poetic that I just want to read the first part. J-Hope raps. Time travel to the year of 2006. Crazy for dancing, I tightened my mom's belt. When I indulged in it every day despite my dad's opposition, she didn't care at all and set a small boat of dream afloat. But I didn't know that mom's big support led us, not to a shortcut laid out wide and straight, but to this path of dream with depth. Always money being the problem. My mother eventually went to work in a different town. Mom's voice that I heard on the phone was clear. What I remember is that mom's strength that time was a breaking ball for me. I made a promise to myself that I must succeed for sure. And with that one promise, I became the song I am now. So if you didn't get
Wow.
must succeed for sure. And with that one promise, I became the song I am now. So if you didn't get everything, he's basically explaining how he would love to dance when he was a child. And although his dad was opposed to it, his mom would always support his dream. But one day he realized that his mother's support only led his family to this path of dream with depth. So she eventually had to go away to work in a different town. And when Jacob heard her broken voice over the phone one day, he made a promise to himself to succeed in life. And all of this suffering made him the song that he is today.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I love that. I really love that. Oof, everybody has a story, man. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a similar or close enough story to somebody that's either famous or your friend or something. And it's so crazy, like to hear things like this because I mean, obviously, we know some parents don't want to allow you to follow your dreams. They want you to just do what they say, follow what could make you successful in that moment, not including your happiness with these, future project or future paths that you're gonna have in the, in your future. And for his mom to believe in him and be okay and, almost push him to continue doing what he loved. It's such a beautiful thing, man. It's such a beautiful thing, but not all parents are going to be like that. And you guys know on this channel, we talk about that so much. We're always talking about how we always try to have our kids do what they want to do in their life, and we're always going to be the support system that we wanted when we were younger. We had so many conversations about that already with these BTS videos, but this is another reason why I got so hooked on J-Hope, because the storyline of him pretty much being in the middle. If you really think about it, his mom's saying yes, his dad's not okay with it, and it's like, what do you do? Because you don't want to disappoint this or that, and then you kind of have to make that promise, like, I'm gonna do my absolute best. Like, this is what I want to do. It must be so stressful, even as a kid, to go through something like this. Is so sad. But I'm so happy that he made it to where he's at.
This is the most personal J-Hope has ever been in a song up until this moment. This was only a little glimpse of the amazing songwriting that was going to be present in his first solo mixtape, Hope World. In March of 2018, J-Hope finally released his debut solo mixtape titled Hope World, which refers to a fictional alternate world created by J-Hope,
Daydream,
where he can be seen
Daydream.
for who he really is, someone who loves music, performance, the members of BTS, and someone who is not afraid to show his fears and anxieties. In this world, J-Hope introduces a colorful and vibrant sound that became the iconic style that many label as hobbycore. The album starts with the track Hope World, which submerges you into water, driving you to a new dimension. J-Hope's Hope World includes many references to the novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, where a marine biologist called Professor Aronnax goes into a trip into the sea to find a mysterious sea monster. This monster ends up not being an actual monster. Instead, it was a futuristic submarine called Nautilus, with Captain Nemo in its command. The rest of the novel describes the protagonist's adventures aboard the Nautilus. J-Hope invites you to be Professor Aronnax and take a journey through his world. Hope World is the submarine, and J-Hope is its designer, Captain Nemo. In general, he is basically welcoming you to his world. A world full of hope, positivity, happiness, self-love, respect to his parents, optimism, and joyfulness. a world where he lives up to his name. He represents hope. The next track, Piece of Peace Part 1, is J-Hope's confession about why he wants to be a piece of peace for people. He says, this refers to him still finding himself. This is pre-debut and one verse J-Hope. The dream is what he talks about on Hope World. He wants to be the hope of the world.
Hobie!
And the realization of this dream is this song. In Piece of Peace, he confesses that he knows that this is a world of mistakes and suffering. He knows we are in the middle of an unavoidable war. He criticizes daily wages, which put shame on workers. He tells you that he knows the pain because he's also someone just like you, with nothing but a passion and a dream. And that is why he wishes to deliver courage, faith, and strength. He wants you to
Wow. Oh my God, man. I really don't see how anyone can hate on any everything that they do comes with a message. It comes with some type of hope, some type of, key word, hope here, I guess, right? It comes with hope. It comes with, something that pushes you and encourages you to be yourself and to go out into the world and conquer whatever you're trying to do in this world. I love that, man. And I don't know, man. I think this is why, I'm so into him at this moment. I've been listening to a lot of J Hope. I'm not gonna lie, I keep telling you guys, but I think this is one of the biggest reasons because I find these courage, faith, and strengths in these songs as well. So without even knowing the language, I guess, but it just music speaks, its own language. So it's just the vibrations that you feel, that feel good music. You know what I'm saying?
passion and a dream. And that is why he wishes to deliver courage, faith, and strength. He wants you to know that you did nothing wrong. He wishes he could be the light to someone. Hope World and Piece of Peace are an introduction to his persona. The next track, Daydream, talks about the person behind the public persona J-Hope, Jung Ho-seok, who feels the responsibilities and burdens of being a worldwide celebrity. He describes his life as J-Hope as having a daydream, which is a dream you have during the day, but it is not real and almost impossible to come to fruition. However, J-Hope is living that crazy, impossible dream. The lyrics are dark because these are his deepest, most controversial thoughts. He raps about having to restrain his large appetite, wanting to cry in peace, wanting to party like crazy, and
I never knew that this was a deep song. Oh my God. You know what? I really took this song as a fulfilling life song. Like it gives you life. I didn't know it was a deep song like this. What? I'm really what? I gotta play this. I gotta play that one. Cause what?
restrain his large appetite, wanting to cry in peace, wanting to party like crazy, and wanting his heart to flutter with love. But being J-Hope prevents him to fulfill many of Jung Ho-seok's desires. He even confesses his dream list to us, which includes getting drunk, going out, not caring about what others think, doing
Oh, you know what? And I guess that's my bad for I then is it my bad or maybe not is not my bad? Cuz I listen to the song like when I'm at work or doing something, but I never took the time to go out and see the lyrics. I just listen to the song over and over and over again, but I can see where she's coming from when she says this because there is that one part where he says, "So what if I go out? What if I get drunk?" You know what I'm saying? So I can see I can see it now, but I never knew that this was deep.
us, which includes getting drunk, going out, not caring about what others think, doing what he
Or
wants with
that
his feelings, satisfying his appetite without a formula, ignoring his character, crying without feeling ashamed, and just being young, wild, and free. Daydream is a bit rawer, more honest than most of what J-Hope has performed. Everyone
wow.
must have caught like fish, he raps, in a net called desire that results from the thirst in life, universal psychological escape. Even I cannot swim out of it. However, he creates a huge contrast with a 90s vibe and an uplifting and vibrant house tempo
Right?
and a colorful music video. Noticing the contrast between his words and the sound and watching the music video really makes you feel like you are experiencing a daydream. The music video really feels like you are daydreaming, and it is full of literature references that compare his daydream world to the worlds of The Hitchhiker's Guide to a Galaxy, Alice in Wonderland, and Harry Potter. And although he just described the dark side of fame, he finishes the song explaining why he doesn't want to stop daydreaming. He says that people ask him, "Why do you dream?" And he responds that even though he knows it sounds like he is wishing to have more when all his needs have already been fulfilled, he is pacing himself. He's putting things down for a moment. He's getting some rest, but he's not stopping. Because what he wants now is that daydream. And the reason why he wants this dream so bad is explained in the next track, Baseline. This song is about the baseline, also known as the starting point, of J-Hope's music, movement, life, and success. He says that he was a street dancer for 10 years before he shaped his rap around the rhythm of his body, and he then debuted because he worked harder than anyone else. He slept less and did more for himself. So his baseline is dancing, and this song's sound and lyrics are a tribute to his street dancing beginnings. After explaining his beginnings in music, J-Hope talks about where this passion has taken him, which is BTS. Hansang translates to always is a tribute to BTS, where he tells the world that he's always with the members. He's always on airplanes with his friends. They are always on red carpets. They are always receiving calls from celebrities. All of these things are always with his friends. And he says that even in the future, the world will keep pace with 7 people because they are always together.
There you go.
Is a collaboration with Big Hit's in-house producer, Supreme Boy. And this is my theory, but I feel that he is representing BTS in this song because he is saying very specific things that in this case only they are in the position to say. For example, he raps about his friends and him reaching to the top, getting on the front cover of magazines, being on the top of the charts, and being trendsetters.
Wow. I know she's gonna say more, but wow. Let's really put that in perspective. You guys have always said that they look out for each other, they care for each other, but we get to see it even in the music. He represents BTS. He doesn't have to say it. He expresses it in his lyrics.
I
Wow.
love how he talks to J-Hope and asks him, and in J-Hope's last verse, he reflects about how hard it was for BTS to be where they are now. He raps about how they only believed in themselves since before debut. They had to put away the rumors about them, how everyone was their enemy and no one was on their side. But BTS turned the game around. J-Hope calls his seniors dogs and delusional people for using their seniority to harass others. And
Yup. And I hate the gatekeepers, man. Gatekeepers, I cannot stand a gatekeeper. We've dealt with so many gatekeepers in this game. It's not even funny. Because I'm not going to lie. In the LA scene, music, Latino scene, eFamilymedia is known. I'm not saying that just to say that. People know who we are. But when I tell you that there's gatekeeping, ooh, the gatekeeping is crazy over here. For some reason, everybody wants to be in competition with each other, when in all actuality, it should just be about the work ethic. If you have what it takes to reach an audience and have a conversation with people and just really interact and have the same wavelength with somebody, then that's what it should be about. But for people to gatekeep, and for people that because they've been in the game for longer, not try to show you love, that's where I follow all types of disrespect. Because to me, even us, you know, getting into the Korean music scene now, um, I always give shout outs. I always give shout outs. It doesn't matter who, what, where, it doesn't matter. If I see somebody's video, I make sure that in the video that we're reacting to, I make sure that I say the person's name, the video title, and I also always link them because it's like it's important to give that credit to people, show them that love, show them that respect. I'm not gonna go over here and pretend like, oh, I know everything and who is that? Or, how shady would that be? It doesn't make sense. So all that gatekeeping stuff, all the people that think they're above somebody else just because they've been doing it for longer, miss me with all that, man. Like, over here, we're gonna show love to everybody. That's why we shout out every single person that we always react to. And you guys know this, man.
That attitude didn't work for them because BTS are the ones stepping on them with their achievements and awards.
I love this song.
Continuing this reflection about being in BTS and an artist, J-Hope uses an airplane as an euphemism for his own success in the song Airplane. He says that when he was younger and the barren land was burning him down, he would run looking at the blue sky wanting to fly in an airplane. His big admiration for aviation was because the place for his dream was so high. But every time he flies, he's living that unimaginable dream. And even when some people talk about him, he doesn't care. It just makes him laugh because he is drinking champagne in his airplane. J-Hope is now every day above the clouds, not only because he flies all the time, but also because he's living his dream. This dream continues in BTS's song Airplane Part 2. J-Hope finishes Hope.
Wow. Isn't that something? I don't know about you guys, but whenever let's say I listen to that song specifically, right? And I'm like, because I work out in the field, I'm walking all day, every day. If I see an airplane, I really think of this song. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but then that gives me that idea. You know what? Let me play this song real quick, just because I see, and I actually wonder. I look up there and I'm like, I wonder where they're going. I wonder, who that is. I see private planes, I see commercial planes, and I just do wonder, like, damn, this world is so big. There's so many people in this world. Like, what is everybody doing? What is everybody up to? Everybody's really out here living their own lives. And we're just it's such a unrealistic but realistic question. Like, what is everyone doing? Like, I just want to ask, like, where are you going? When I see somebody in a private jet, who are you and where are you going? Because how did you get in that plane? It could be J Hope up there. You never know.
In his dream. This dream continues in BTS's song Airplane Part 2.
Airplane.
J-Hope finishes Hope World with Blue Side.
Ooh. Back on
This
the blue
atmospheric,
side.
melancholic outro is a song J-Hope wrote in 2015, right after making One Verse. J-Hope said that this song brings him back to the days when he was naive and clueless. Blue Side is only 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and these are all the lyrics. In my blue dream, I will put you, even if you say no. In my eyes, in my blue dream, I will hold you, even if you say no. In my arms, Blue Side, back to Blue Side. This song represents baby J-Hope when he was young and clueless. He said that he listens to this song when he wants to go back in time and see the blue sky and the wind full of good memories. This article says, if Hope World begins with us entering the deep ocean, Blue Side is us standing out the wet sand, staring at the
Wait. Let me
blue
listen to
sky
that
and
again.
the wind full of good memories. This article says, if Hope World begins with us entering the deep ocean, Blue Side is us standing out the wet sand, staring at the sinking sun. And this was J-Hope's Hope World, a statement of who he is and what he wants to represent. But this album was
Wow.
only an introduction. J-Hope would continue showing his work in BTS's songs. Later that year, J-Hope released his solo song, Trivia Just Dance, in BTS's album Love Yourself Answer. Continuing the concept of finding the answer of self-love, J-Hope wrote this song about his love for dancing, and since he chose dance as his answer, I believe the best way to experience this song is by watching the live performance, which brings a new colorful side to the song, with J-Hope's amazing dance moves and great performance. Continuing the theme of his love for dancing, J-Hope released Chicken Noodle Soup in collaboration with Latin pop artist Becky G a year later, in 2019. This remake of the 2006 song by Webster and Young B is J-Hope and Becky G's way of paying tribute to a song that was part of both of their childhoods, but it represents way more than that. This is a trilingual song that brings together two of the biggest non-American and European artists, a Latin pop artist and a Korean two of the biggest non-American or European
I just wanted to see what it said. So it said she's American of Mexican descent, so she's a Chicana pretty much.
artists, a Latin pop artist and a Korean artist that come from very different cultures but are united by music, that are united by this specific song that represents their passion for dance and their hip-hop roots. The song and music video are also a celebration for diversity. The song maintains the original chorus by Bianca Boni, who received almost $3 million for the use of the sample, by J-Hope's own pocket, since this is a free song. As well, they kept the original choreography and mixed it with some more intense and playful.
That's dope. That's dope. So they paid off, who made the original beat, 3 mil to make this song. And it was, and you know what? Even though we said what we said about it, it did what it was supposed to do, which was the trilingual thing, which I think is one of the most important things to do because you had Spanish, Korean, and English. And, you know, to be honest, that's pretty unheard of nowadays. Even though it should be more of this, I feel like, but then, we never know what the reasoning is, but it definitely did what it was supposed to do.
Dance steps. Big Hit also stated that they deliberately recruited 50 diverse dancers from around the world, and every single one of them was credited at the end of the music video.
Oh, that's
Jacob's
fire.
rap mentions his dancing beginnings in his native town, Gwangju, his old street dance crew, Neuron, and his recent video series, Hope on the Street. Becky G raps about the sexism she faced and how she just feels sorry for the haters. But in general, this is a song about their love for their hometowns and dancing. This song was supposed to be part of Hope World, and it feels like that. The song is colorful and vibrant, and it feels very much J-Hope, and he will continue to show this specific style in his next solo song, Ego. J-Hope released Outro Ego as the outro song for the BTS album Map of the Soul 7. This song is the perfect middle point between a BTS song and a J-Hope song. Ego samples BTS's old song Intro to Go for School, and it has a happy, fun, and bright twist characteristic of J-Hope. The lyrics form a conclusion of BTS's Map of the Soul, which starts showing one's persona, then it identifies one's shadow, and finally it analyzes one's ego, which according to Carl Jung's theory, it represents the conscious mind, which contains memories including those that have been suppressed. This is why J-Hope visits his past as J-Hope and as Jung Ho-seok and raps about his distant memories, as well as his hopeful future. This is J-Hope's strong conclusion of BTS's Map of the Soul. In 2021, J-Hope released the full version of his mixtape outro, Blue Side, as part of the 3-year anniversary of Hope World. I mentioned that this outro represented a naive and clueless J-Hope. About this, J-Hope said on a note that he always wondered why he wasn't able to finish the song. He says that he felt the theme was too much for him to handle musically at the time. He says that he wanted so bad for people to listen to his music that he hastily and recklessly wrote his songs, being led by his creative spirit. Now, he feels he's become more mature musically, and this new version is the result of challenging and improving himself.
Wow.
The new lyrics are way more complex and poetic, and I believe this level of growth is a sneak peek of what we're going to see on J-Hope's new album Jack in the Box, which, according to the concept photos and the pre-release single More, it appears to be a more mature album, full of complex themes and storylines J-Hope loves referencing in his music, as well as even a stronger songwriting and production. Blue Side's cover did not only show a spoiler for his new album Jack in the Box, but also
Marketing 101 right there. Dang. Wow.
Did not only show a spoiler for his new album Jack in the Box, but also he said in his letter the same thing we saw on the press release of the album. J-Hope's solo album, as expressed in the title of the album Jack in the Box, represents his aspirations to break the mold and grow further. And this album appears to have a 90s vibe characteristic of J-Hope's music. For some reason, fate put J-Hope in Animal, a song that celebrates his talent and predicts his success, even before debuting with BTS. Then, after gaining some experience writing BTS songs, J-Hope released his first solo song, One Verse, as a side project on SoundCloud, which showed his quick growth in only 3 years. Then, he had the opportunity to shine by himself in his BTS solo songs Boy Meets Evil and Mama. He then released his first solo mixtape Hopeful, which clarifies who he is and what he wants. He then continues his Hopeful brand in Just Dance, Chicken Noodle Soup, and Ego. Then, he shows a little of his growth in the new full version of his old song Blue Side, which introduces us to an even more mature J-Hope. This is the J-Hope we are going to see in Jack in the Box, an ambitious project that shines J-Hope's non-stopping growth in the music world.
Ooh. And obviously, we know this album already. It's a banger. He has a bunch of banging songs, but I just wanted to see, this video essay specifically because I'm not gonna lie, I'm very interested, in them specifically and in particular. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I knew a little bit of the ambassador, the brand ambassador things that they have going on, but for me to go back and listen to this and see, him musically was definitely a good journey to do because, like I said, he's been low key, low key. He's been my bias. He's been my bias. You guys know this. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I've been listening to J Hope heavily, like I said, and yeah, I gotta give another big shout out to Boracity magazine because the way she does videos is very it helps me understand, these guys a lot more, and I hope she has more video essays for the other members as well. I'm gonna look for them, and if she does, then we're obviously gonna react to them, and if not, then this is where this ends. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video. Like I said, follow us on all social media, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace.